to Talk of Success podcast. My name is Dr. Jackeline Mejias Fuertes, and I am the Regional Director of the Small Business Development Center at Brookdale Community College here in the state of New Jersey. And today's podcast, not only is it our third season, so we've been doing this for 3 years, so we're pretty excited about that this is our third year doing our podcast. And for whatever reason, we seem to be getting our season started in March. And what else happens in March is actually SBDC Day. So today, in honor of our SBDC Day, which started 6 years ago, back in 2017, we have some amazing guests sharing their relationship with our SBDC, as I said, located in Monmouth and Ocean County, if I didn't mention that before, but also known as Monmouth and Ocean Small Business Development Center. So starting off our podcast, which for those of you who don't know, the purpose of our podcast, Talk of Success, it's really to provide entrepreneurs and small business owners with insight as well as empowerment and motivation as to help them to become educated and get them onto their path of small business ownership as well as entrepreneurship. Anyone that knows me and the people that they're going to meet today, we're all here to help you on that journey, on that path, which we know to be an amazing one. So today, like I said, it is a SBDC Day, or rather SBDC, somewhere along the line, we kind of dropped that A, but we're sharing, and you can find throughout just Googling on the web, all the information that's going on throughout all the SBDC. Here in the state of New Jersey, in case you're not aware, we are actually a network, and that network is made out of 12 SBDC centers strategically located throughout the state, covering all 21 counties. Our particular center, now I am repeating myself, covers Monmouth and Ocean County. The SBDC stands for Small Business Development Center. The SBDC here of the Americas covers, well, not covers, but you could find one in all 50 states, as well as U.S. territories, which include Puerto Rico, Guam, Virgin Islands, and the Samoas. So once again, welcome to our SBDC. I am your host, Dr. Jackeline Mejias Fuertes. And to start off our podcast today in celebration of SBDC Day, I have Sherilyn Preslominski, and I'm hoping I did not kill her last name here, but she is an amazing woman that I've met through my life as an entrepreneur as well as a regional director, and she's president of the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce here in Monmouth County, and they have done some amazing work throughout the county helping small businesses. You know, they're a resource. They are absolutely amazing. So without any further ado, and that being said, Sherilyn, thank you for being on our podcast.
Thank you. It's such an honor. I'm very excited to celebrate this day and what it's all about because, as you said, it is about the small businesses and how they're growing, and that's what it's about. The Chamber is here and to partner with what you're doing to give them those resources. I met Jackie years ago. She was our speaker for the Women in Business Luncheon years ago, and she was so good. We brought her back recently, and every person that walks out of that luncheon says, you know, it's such a resource. They need that. It's difficult. It's difficult for small businesses to find, you know, they're passionate about what they want to do, so they start their business, and then they get going, and then they stumble. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to get those resources, so that's what it's all about. And that's how I think about with you and your energy. Very helpful for them.
Thank you, Sherilyn. Well, and that is what we're all about. I mean, part of the SBDC is to make sure that we stay connected with all our stakeholders and to make sure that the business community receives all the resources, to make sure we connect, not just with the resource itself, but to make sure we connect those businesses, those entrepreneurs, that when they're starting off, it's really difficult. As an entrepreneur myself, I have to say, the Chamber has changed its name throughout the years, but when I first came to the state of New Jersey and I started my business, back then it was called Middletown Chamber of Commerce. It has since changed its name to the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce,
Correct.
But without their assistance, my business would not have been able to get off the ground. I made so many relationships with other entrepreneurs and small businesses that are still around today, which is pretty amazing. That meaning that they've been around for a good 20 plus years and that they're always available to help you. You know, joining a chamber, it's not just about, oh, what business can I get out of that? It's not. You know, as you said, you go in, you hear some amazing speakers, but then you connect with people, you know, like Sherilyn, and the stuff that I've seen them do, they are truly amazing. Every time you attend one of the events, one of their networking events, one of their educational events, she mentioned the women's event, which I'm very fond of, right? It just takes you to a whole new level in terms of education, you know, in terms of the connections that you're going to make. And as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, I know that in order to be successful, what are the things that you need to know? First of all, you want to try to get together with a mentor, right? If you could hook up with a mentor, amen. But you need to be educated. That's why you find the SBDCs hosted where? At higher education institution, whether it's a 4-year college or 2-year college, that's where you're going to find us. Why? Because we understand the importance, the value of education. And so do they, right? When I say they, I'm talking about the Chambers of Commerce, because we have a few more coming on that are going to talk about how we partner with them, how they are important to what we do to the communities that we serve. You know, without them, we cannot do what we do, and we are so honored and grateful that they include us in what they do because they truly connect with the business community. So
true. It's what you said, education, partnering, and it's just, and serving. So very important.
Absolutely.
You were just nailing all the things that the chambers do for each other and how you collaborate. And then also what it does is just that education resources. So
I know. And then you end up meeting some wonderful people.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, I am blessed every time I turn around and I meet these amazing individuals that share the passion that I have, that my team has, in terms of how and what we want to deliver to the communities that we serve. So, Sherilyn,
absolutely.
I am so grateful, honestly, for you to come on
Thank you.
and let us know. But you know what? Before you get off, say a little bit more. I said you were the president of the chamber, but you're more than that. Tell me more just about yourself. Real quick, come on. So they'll know who you are.
Well, I know. So the chamber built my business. Let's start with that. I am a certified senior HR consultant, professional, and I'm a consultant. That's what I do. I serve the small businesses to medium-sized businesses out there. I educate them. And it goes back to, you want to start a business, you get this great idea, let's go, let's build this, let's do this. And then you don't have all those resources. And one, you don't know how, even the difference from, should this be an employee or should they be contracted? So it starts right there. So there's a lot of those little things that happen in the course of you building your business that you need to find those people and have those resources. The chamber does that. It's full of members that will help each other, that will will help educate. So that's what it's about. So yes, I'm an HR professional. I do management, employee training, educate again on those employment laws, handbooks, and write policies in a nutshell.
Those things that are really important where we are today, in our environment today, those things are so critical.
Yep.
We know how important they are, especially trying to help the employer understand the position they're in, and the employees as well to understand the world we're in, and how is it that we could come together and unite to really create that environment where it's a happy place for everyone, I should say.
And a happy place is when you don't get those fines, because the Department of Labor is right around the corner. And I went through one personally, and if I can be found as a small, because what happened to me is you have to think about, if there's an audit with one of your clients, you're going to be part of that. So that's how I was found. I said, what the heck is this thing in the mail? Are you kidding me? How could I be in this? And you go through the process. So I know firsthand how grueling it is. And I did a presentation for the Human Resource. I'm part of the Jersey Shore Human Resource Association. I had the opportunity to speak at their conferences. And, you really can, it's very difficult. And as I say, you need to be patient. You need to understand that it's very personal, because they open up everything. doing, it's difficult. So I'm here to help educate, as we use that word, educate our small businesses, medium-sized businesses on how to avoid those. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't she amazing?
You're amazing. I can sit here and, with your energy, but we've always thought that. That's why we keep pulling you in and everybody else does.
So this is just our first guest. Stay tuned. We have some more coming your way. But Sherilyn, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Again, it was
like
an
I said,
honor.
we are so grateful.
Thank you.
Again, sharing in honor of ASBDC Day, and I keep on saying ASBDC Day, and it should be SBDC Day.
SBDC.
That we are sharing, just celebrating what is it that the SBDC does for the small business community. Like I said, we are here to serve, and I mentioned education, but I did not mention what we are truly known for, and that is for our confidential, no-cost counseling. And I'll talk about that a little bit more as our guests keep on coming on to our podcast today. So once again, Sherilyn, you're very welcome. Thank you
Wonderful.
so
Thank
much,
you.
hon. Oh,
Thanks.
love it, love it, love it.
Love it too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, as our next guest starts coming in, I do want to take a moment and again, just talk about a little bit more about the SBDC and what it is that the SBDC actually does for us. So, I can stop or keep on going.
Sounds good.
Of course, we have a special guest today, which is part of a Shared Universe podcast. And actually, they are one of our clients, and we'll be talking to them as well, who absolutely got us started in podcasting, and they have been amazing. So, here we go. Look, we have Ming.
What's up, everybody? How are you? Sorry, I didn't know you were calling on me.
All right,
Lex.
look, hey, whoever's on the line, but I'll take Ming. So Ming Chang here is actually one of our, I can say this, right? He's
Yes.
saying a lot. So this serves as, documentation that I could use him. I mean, this way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For marketing purposes. But-
we do the same. It's all about marketing, right, and promotion. So
That's it. But absolutely, we were introduced to podcasting over 3 years ago. And I remember when one of the partners came into our office and said, we want to start a business. And this was before podcasting was out there. And I was like, sure. And she started talking about it. And I was like, wow, Julia, I hope she doesn't mind me saying that. And I was like, pretty cool. So since then, they have been exploding. I have to say, I follow them on social media. I mean, they host so many shows. It's pretty amazing. And if you've listened to one of my podcasts in the past, which I do recommend you do one way or the other, you can find us on social media, definitely on our Facebook page. One of the things that I always state is I love the fact that they do everything for me. The most I do is put on a headset, which I'm not using right now, and make sure that the mic is adjusted. I love technology, but I love when it's done for me and I don't have to worry about it. So that being said, thank you, Ming, for creating this.
All right, well, thank you.
And this studio, guys, if you can actually see the studio, the whole studio, they've moved several times, but their studios are amazing. When you really look at a shared universe, think of what that actually means. The podcasting studio, it's totally awesome. Their memorabilia rocks. And then this man, I don't know how he's sitting upright with his eyes open because he's always traveling. So Ming, tell us more about a shared universe, how you got here, that whole 9 yards.
if you're watching this, you may have seen the explosion of podcasting, content creation, live streaming, creating YouTube videos, things like that. But I started doing this about 12 years ago, thanks to Kevin Smith, the Jersey-based filmmaker and creator. He started podcasting, and I didn't even want to do this at first, if you can believe it. I didn't want to be behind a microphone. But I started at his tech guy. He had his big, huge podcast, gets downloaded by millions of people. He's making money doing it. But I was the guy behind the scenes. And then one day he was like, hey, I want you to start a podcast. And I'm like, I don't do this. You're famous. You're a great storyteller. why would a normal person do this? Or, he's like, no, you don't understand. What do you love? Talk about what you love, because the other people who love it will listen to it. You'll find like-minded people. And I didn't realize that. I thought you needed training and you needed to be polished and go to school for something like that.
I'm happy you don't, because that wasn't happening right here. I could tell you when we started our podcast, Talk of Success, it was just finding individuals that we felt, wow, how do you share your success stories? Yeah. And that's why for us, I mean, you guys, and I say you guys because I'm including you and your partners, but it is a talk of success. You guys have been amazing in this area or sphere of podcasting. I mean, you've introduced this so much to the community that we're in. Everyone, and I know I say everyone, but when you look around, there's so many individuals who have been part of your podcasting world, or that you've introduced it to them, so much so that we have a guest who actually does podcasting. She's part of a chamber, but she does it on her own, and I'm like, God bless her, because that's not me. But, we all have our talents. And I'm like, well, that's not going to be our talent for me. But in terms of what A Shared Universe does, you've taken opportunities to speak about it at our school. And when I say our school, I'm talking about Brookdale Community College, where they've actually come in to teach individuals. I mean, you've elevated the whole idea of podcasting in our area to a whole new level. Because I have to say, when we started doing it, it was more of, I think it started, oh my gosh, with Women Entrepreneurs Rock.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago.
Yeah, the Stone Pony, yeah.
Yes, and we did that. We still do our Women Entrepreneurs Rock, in case you want to know, that's still happening. But when we started, we went to your studio just to talk about it the first time, and we had our guest there, and it blew my mind. And I just said, with podcasting, I always thought it was the whole radio thing with the headset on and the mic. I found that cool, but the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, well, first and foremost, so after I got kind of tricked into podcasting, I fell in love with it. It's weird, you can have normal conversations with people, but there's something about having the microphone where even like the shyest people come in and like, oh, I don't know, I've never done this. They come in, they're a little intimidated, or they're nervous, and by the end, all that melts away. And there's something about talking into a microphone with a like-minded person that it's just fun, and it gets people to open up. And I quickly realized, if anyone who's ever had a conversation, if you can talk, you really should be podcasting. Yeah. And once I realized, I was like, wow, what if we had like a classroom or a studio or something where we could teach people how to do this? And even out in the world, people would come up and like, hey, we love your podcast. We want to start one too. How do we do this? And I would give them like, a 10, 15 second lesson, buy this, hook this up, press this button. But I never thought that was enough. Yeah, and as I realized that more and more people wanted to do this, I was like, man, what if we just made it easier for them? Just set up all the gear. We'll handle up all the uploading, the editing. Answer questions. Or for the people, maybe some people have started already and they have a lot of questions. Like, we're always here for them. If you're like, oh, how do I do this? How do I grow my audience? A lot of people, how do I make money doing this?
Yeah, monetize it. Absolutely. Talk about a moneymaker.
Yeah.
Podcasting. Absolutely.
It could happen. Yeah. But I think first and foremost, though, I really love doing this. I love podcasting, and
it shows.
And when you find something,
follow him. If you want to know more about it, follow him. I mean, also if you're into comics and
pop culture and Marvel movies. And,
absolutely. You want to follow Ming because he's always, like I saw him today and I said, oh, you're finally here, meaning he's here in Monmouth County because he's always flying somewhere to some show, to some event. Yeah. And I mean, the stuff that he shares on social media is always entertaining, but it's fun because if you're out there and you're going to be somewhere in one of the states that he's in, you're like, oh, wait, where did Ming go to? I'm going to try to check that restaurant out too.
Yeah, and honestly, all your life experiences, the people you meet, that's podcast content. So if later on that week, I'll come back and I'll relay all my experiences going to San Diego Comic-Con, or I just got back from South by Southwest in Austin. I have so many stories to tell about that and to share to people. So maybe someone who has been there was like, oh yeah, I did that too. I can relate to that. Or someone who's going to go was like, oh, thank you for all the advice. So yeah, it's great. And, this is really, truly something. I ask people to take advantage of this because, we're live streaming right now.
Right.
We're recording. So, 10 years ago, maybe 15, if you wanted to do this, you had to go to broadcasting school. You had to get a job at a radio station. And then, they wouldn't let you talk about whatever you wanted. And, live streaming, forget about it. You needed a satellite truck and you needed permission from a TV station. Not happening. We're living in a world where I literally hit a button and we're live to, potentially millions of people. And I think if we should be taking advantage of that. We should absolutely be taking advantage of that for sure.
You're absolutely correct. It's another way of communicating, sharing content, valuable content, which is key. I mean, that is part of the learning process. It's understanding that we learn differently now. It's not the same, you go to school and this is the only way of learning. There's so many new ways that you can learn how to do things. And more importantly, that it's hands-on. It doesn't always have to come straight from a textbook that you have to read, a book completely to figure out how to do it. Now you pretty much can jump in. This is the mind of an entrepreneur, jump in, try it out, see if it works. And if it's working, then you really get into the nitty gritty to make sure you can lay it out, because I will be the one to tell you, you need to plan that out a little better. But if you want to test it out, see if it's something you feel good and you're comfortable with it, why not? Again, another avenue, another media that you can use, especially to find like-minded people, share your experiences. Absolutely. You never know what you're going to love. And one of the things that's why our talk of success, we don't have, in terms of how many we have throughout the year, in terms of segments, we don't have a lot. But we do one every year. Like I said, we've been doing it for 3 years. And the reason we don't give it up is because every segment, every time we have enough time to do them, they're amazing. Our clients are able to come on and talk about, and I can see it when they light up. I'm talking to Ming here, and I'm watching his face light up, talk about podcasting. And thanks to this medium is that people are able to do that. I mean, you had to have gone through some bumpy places along the road. So for you, what was your bumpiest place? Was it when they told you you have to do this, or when?
No, I mean, in terms of business, I mean, I got to credit you guys. Like, I've never started a business before, so I've never hired people, filling out forms, getting an LLC, tax. I didn't. So, you guys have really, really helped us out with that.
That's where the SBDC came in.
Yeah.
They did come to us.
Yeah. Usually you start a small business you start a small business because you find something that you love and that you want to share with other people.
Absolutely.
And that's what I wanted to do. And I was like, oh, wait, there are all these forms and, there's an official way to do it. And yeah, I didn't know what it was doing. So, luckily you guys were able to be there to help us out for sure.
That's cool. We are that resource. You're starting something, you don't know where to begin. You definitely want to check out your local SBDC because we're here to help, and we've been down the road with quite a few businesses in many, many industries, right? So along with that, but we also have connections to the resources that you may need for your particular business. So it's always important to connect with us, and we get to connect you with amazing people, like Ming here. Come on, look at this. Again, the podcasting world is changing. It's not what it used to be. Like everything else, I attribute everything to the world we live in. We live, taking place right now is the fourth industrial revolution. It's all about technology. How do we live with technology? Artificial intelligence, it's here. We live with it. Hey, I'm always asking, hey, Google, hey, Alexa. They respond to me, and sometimes not so nice, but they still respond to me. So
it's funny. You just set off everybody's Alexas now by saying that. So yeah, hopefully you didn't order anything on Amazon
I know.
that they didn't want. But yeah, I also love the connecting to other small business owners. I know they're passionate. You don't start a small business just because you're a casual, casually. You put your heart and soul into it. I love meeting those individuals as well.
I know, and that's what moves your business forward when you're passionate about what you do. And I always tell people, if your passion is not there, then don't bother with your business. You know why? The money will not always be there at the beginning. It will come. Trust me. The funding, the funds for your business. As it grows, you will generate that revenue, that income. But at the beginning, it's slim pickings when it comes to generating revenue as you're getting yourself off the ground. But if your passion is there, that's going to drive you. And as it's driving you, like it did with the shared universe, the things that you're going to see, that you're going to create, and how that's going to inspire you to move forward and to help others. Because, I mean, with the shared universe, again, I know that I could go online and I could see how many other businesses fall under the shared universe. I don't know how
Yeah,
to
the
call
banner,
that.
I
The
guess,
banner,
you know,
I guess,
yeah.
in, their cloud, where they, again, not technology, sounds.
Yeah, live
This is
streams,
not-
podcast streams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is not- I
we've
don't sound
helped launch
articulate.
we've helped to launch a lot of shows in the 4+ years that we've been open, and we can't wait to help
Absolutely.
people
You
launch
know,
more.
And you could find them, and they're great, and you can see how many of them are listed. And all the editing and everything, because trust me, as our podcasting continues to grow, we're looking to grow with it. So, of course, I've had to educate myself somewhat on podcasting and to understand the editing that goes into it. It's amazing. And it's wonderful to know you have individuals like here at A Shared Universe, like Ming and his staff, because Christian is one that I'm like, yay, Christian, thank
Yep,
you for
yeah.
hooking me up. Because editing, I would die on the edit floor. And they managed to edit everything for you, make sure the audio and the video and everything connects like you wouldn't believe. And you sound so professional. You're like, I can't believe this was done in this amount
Yeah,
of
it's
time.
like that.
And
People are like,
pretty
that's me. It's like,
cool.
yeah, that's you. Get
You
used to
know,
your voice. Get
this
used to
is
it.
pretty amazing at the things that you're able to do. So, I mean, for us, we are, again, grateful, honored that Julia came to our center and said, hey, Jackie, I need to talk to you. We're looking to create a business. And she told me who it was and what they were creating. And back then, I wasn't into podcasting. It wasn't out there the way it is right now. And you're hearing it more and more each and every day. And they have been absolutely amazing in how they're growing within their business. So for us, we're grateful that we're able to use them as a service, right? Because with the SBDC, we can't do everything ourselves. We really reach out to other small businesses to help us as well. But it gives us an opportunity to introduce small businesses to other small businesses in the community for them to understand, look what else you can do with your business. Look how else you could communicate with those that you want to serve or provide products to. So for us, anything, what else would you want to share? Where did you come from anyway, Ming? I mean,
Just now in
no,
life?
No, not today, but originally. I mean, before you met, were you always with
Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
and,
Kevin Smith.
no, I mean, I
met.
I met Kevin Smith when I was in college.
Okay, so it's pretty much your whole adult life then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I've lived in New Jersey it'll be 20 years this year.
Oh.
And yeah, I love it here. The pizza and the bagels are great, thanks to the small businesses pushing those out. But yeah, I love it here. So yeah, I worked with Kevin for a number of years. He introduced me to podcasting. The podcasting led to 7 years on a TV show. No big deal, but maybe you watch.
It is.
There's a TV show called Comic Book Men out there, in which we're seeing podcasting on the show, which was cool. But with that ended, it's like, well, what do I want to do with my life now? What's next? And I took a page out of Kevin's book. He's like, well, find what you love to do, and see if you can, maybe form a business or find a way to live doing what you love. And actually, I learned a lot about entrepreneurship from Kevin. He's a hustler.
Right.
He's got his own, comic book shop in Red Bank. He's a small business owner, but he's got like 20 different businesses and
He's a
master
serial entrepreneur.
marketer,
That's exactly
master
it.
promoter, and I learned a lot from him as well. So
Pretty
he's a big
cool.
reason I'm here. But that's where I came from.
Nice. And I want you to know that Shared Universe Podcast Studio, we are recording live right now from Bell Works. So if you're listening to us, you want to come by. It's like we're in a fishbowl right now, but I'm loving this fishbowl.
Yeah.
Sitting on the nice purple couch right here. Pretty amazing. Just Bell Works in itself, it's really an amazing facility. It's like 3 football fields long. I don't know how many floors it goes up, and they continuously are building out on this place, which is pretty awesome. It used to be the old Lucent building, and I think
Bell Labs.
Bell
for
Labs
sure.
before that. So it's amazing to see what they are doing here in Monmouth County with repurposing some of those old, huge buildings, which is the way to go here. But they've made, a shared universe has made it their homes in one of the places here, which is pretty cool. And you also have another location in Red Bank.
Yep,
Now, what's-
newly opened in Red Bank, right on the corner of Broad Street and Harding Road, 2 blocks from the comic book shop where kind of my career is birthed. So it's great to be there as well. And then, growing, hopefully we'll be, in every city in Monmouth and Ocean County,
There you go.
Yeah, Keansburg, Asbury. If you have space, let me know. I would love to open up there.
All right, so you hear that, guys? If there's space, you're a commercial realtor or something, you heard what Ming said.
Yeah.
You may want to reach out to him, give him a call or something. Absolutely. So, Ming, again, we are extremely grateful and honored that, Julia selecting us to help you with starting the business, but definitely for hosting this event today for us, because they're
we'll always
pretty
be here
cool.
for you.
Hosting, always being accessible to us when we have questions or we need to do a podcast, always helpful, and they're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. So are you guys. So yeah, everyone's sharing their universes here. Hence our business name, A Shared Universe. So
Right. So
yeah.
we're sharing our universe here. The SBDC is sharing their universe, letting you know how we serve our community. We have a business owner here sharing how, they share their community as well and how we were able to help them as well. So with that, we're on to our next.
Awesome.
Are we good?
Let's, we're good. So
All
we'll let
right.
next
Thank
guest
you,
come on in.
Ming.
Yeah, but thank you,
Love
and
it.
thank you guys for watching.
Thanks, guys. All right. Okay. And now we have Therese. Oh, and I dropped this here, but we
I
are
just said,
good.
Ming, we have to talk. I would like you to speak at our chamber meeting, either a lunch and learn or a
Yeah.
breakfast meeting. You have great information to share.
Okay, there we go. So now we have Therese Roque.
Rolke, rock and rolky.
Rolke. Okay. Like I said, I'm like horrible with last names. But Therese is another one that, she's the executive director of the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce. And Therese and I, oh my gosh, I don't even know how far back it goes.
Oh, yeah.
It's been
Goes
some
far back.
time.
Goes far back, yes.
But again, with the chamber, as I mentioned before, just connecting resources. And in terms of connecting the things, tell us more about the Monmouth Regional Chamber, what they are up to. I know you became the executive director. Now it's been 2
December
years.
2019.
Oh my God!
Right
It's going 3
before-
years. Right.
Right before the pandemic.
What a time to take on a new job right before the pandemic. Not kidding.
Yes. So I actually have been a chamber member since March of 2013.
Wow. But
Yes.
you were really active.
I was very active. I was a
Right.
big volunteer to the point where they appointed me to the board. And I said, as long as you don't ask me to do anything else, we won't. Ha ha ha.
The joke was on you, my friend. The joke was on you.
And then I was honored to serve as a board member of this awesome chamber. And then when the position opened up in the fall of 2019, I'm like, let's see, I'm volunteering my time with the chamber, or I can get paid to do the work with the chamber. I thought it was a no-brainer, so I went
That
for the
works.
job, and thank God I was lucky enough to get the position, and I've I
well, they're
love the
lucky
work.
to have you
Aw,
because
thank
I've seen
you.
all the work you did as a volunteer, and you continue to do the work with the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce. So I know that, the chamber has done the programs that you guys have
yeah.
been putting together.
Yeah.
I know it was an undertaking when you guys came in, and so tell us more, covering Monmouth
Yeah.
County,
Yeah.
regional.
Yeah.
You have, what programs do you have you guys running?
So the chamber, we cover, you mentioned earlier when you talked with Sherilyn that we came from the northern Monmouth side of things,
Right.
of the county, and we also are part of the western side of the county, because the northern Monmouth chamber and the greater Monmouth chamber joined forces.
Okay.
So now, since January of 2017, we cover the entire county from one end, from the beaches to the western side of the county. Monmouth County is huge, just so everyone knows. Probably takes about 45 minutes to get from one side to the other.
Right.
And so there's a lot of area to cover. And we just love helping the local businesses to expand and collaborate. And we love being the core of all of that. It really gives, I'm a people person. So when we can get into the businesses and help them and join, refer businesses to other businesses and the public actually, it's just so rewarding because we want to see them expand and grow.
Nice.
And you guys are a big part of that too. I just have to say, you are a big part of it because without you, somebody who wants to start a new business wouldn't know where to start. I had an event planning business way back at one point, and I used your resources to help me launch that business.
It's interesting because when I moved to New Jersey, I actually used the SBDC as well to get me started. As Ming has said, that they came to us as well. One of the things it's important to know that while the SBDC is here to help you when you get started with the business, we're also here to help you to make sure your business becomes sustainable and is resilient. Because as you know, here in beautiful Monmouth County, covering Monmouth and Ocean County, we kind of get hit with a lot of things from Mother Nature, and this is going back to Sandy and other things that have impacted our area. I mean, the pandemic, that was worldwide, but there's been other events that have impacted us locally where it has created a problem within our local economy. So it's important for us to make sure that we are always educating our businesses and informing them and helping them to obtain the assistance they need depending what's going on within the environment. So I said that's always a moving target. It's never a one and done. Never ever. It's constantly a moving target. So I mean, and again, you guys have programs.
Yes.
Women programs
Yes.
that you are known for. You do have one that's coming up, and I was looking at your lineup, and I said, pretty interesting. I think I knew 2 out of the 3. How many for people? What's the program you have coming up right now?
The Leadership Summit?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So we have a nice diverse, we have a lot of events each month. We have, our core is 6 breakfast meetings a month,
Oh my gosh,
believe it or not. So we do 2 of them on Fridays, the first and third Friday, and if there's a 5th Friday, New Jersey City University at Fort Monmouth.
Right.
They opened up. And Dean Edmondson connected to me
I
a
know him
year
well.
ago,
Yeah, I know him
looking
well.
to they have an event space, and they connected to me and asked me to share it with people. I said, yeah, I can definitely share it with companies, but we need an event space ourselves. So we do our breakfast meeting 2 to 3 times a month on a Friday at their location. Then we also go have a breakfast meeting out at Gus's Diner in Manalapan on the western side of the county on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday. And then we do 2 on Zoom on Fridays in between New Jersey City University meetings on the 2nd and 4th Friday, because we also feel there are people that maybe can't get to an in-person meeting or they're still not comfortable because of the situation, so we didn't want to neglect them. So now we serve all of our members with a breakfast meeting in some way or another.
Okay, do you sleep?
No. Very little sleep. Very
Out of
little
curiosity, do you actually sleep?
But we can't do this without the support of our volunteers and our board members. Oh my gosh, we have a great board, and they put a lot of chamber hours in to help us succeed in helping businesses in the area. So we have a young professionals group. They're very active. They meet once a month on Zoom right now, but they have on March 25th, the last Friday of this month, they're doing a leadership summit. It's going to be from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock at New Jersey City University. We're looking to bring in students. We've reached out to Brookdale, Monmouth University. I reached out to Georgian Court, and we want to make it known to the students that this is a nice half-day session that they could learn a lot from. And we have 3 speakers on a panel, and then we have Cliff Moore and Dean Edmondson talking as main
Very
speakers.
cool.
And that's an
I
exciting.
know them both actually Dean Edmondson and Cliff Moore. Very intelligent individuals, knowledgeable on the topic of speaking. Cliff Moore, anything with economic development.
Yep.
Definitely, Cliff Moore. Dr. Edmondson, I know of because he was one of the he is a dean, but the SBDC up at NJCU was run underneath him
Oh,
before
I didn't know that.
he traveled. Yes, I say it said there's 12 in our network, and
He was
one comes
one.
out of NJCU.
Ah.
So he was one that shared. It was co-directed our center up at NJCU, so I am quite familiar with him
Nice.
and the works that he's done. He's an author in his
Yes,
own right
he
as
is.
well.
Yes,
so
he is.
again, sharing so much information, and that is what we do. We want to make sure that we share information, that we inform the small business community as to what is available to them. Where is it that you could tap into this knowledge or body of knowledge, right? So this way, when you are getting your business off the ground or you are in business, know that there are resources that you could tap into, because without that information, the decisions that you make, again, will have an impact on your organization. For us, it's critical for you to be knowledgeable. Therefore, you will make the best decision possible, as it's going to impact your business moving forward. So for us, education is key. Remember, and then our one-on-one counseling, which is for us, we are an advisory group when you come to look at the SBDC. And as advisors, it is our job to make sure that we provide you with that critical information that you need, that we show you the best way of attaining what it is that you are looking to achieve. In doing that, the responsibility still falls on you. We're not here to force or twist your arm into doing anything, but we are advisors. We can be your accountability partner if that's what you choose us to be. We at the SBDC do so much, and we will continue to do so much for the Small Business Development Center. We have branches that do women's programs through our network. We do have quite a few women's programs. One of the things that our particular center is known for is our Women Entrepreneurs Rock event, which we hold it usually in October during Women International Entrepreneurship Week. And another program that we've developed is our bilingual entrepreneurship certificate program, which started prior to the pandemic, and then we took it virtually. And to say that we have completed, we're up to our fourth cohort, I believe, at this time, and that 98% of those who enrolled in the program actually completed the program and have moved on to start businesses in the state of New Jersey, not just in Monmouth and Ocean County. And our bilingual has been absolutely amazing. Our SBDC, and when I say our, I'm talking about our network, which is statewide, really does focus on bringing the services to the community. It's not about you coming to us, but for us to go to you. That's why there are those 12 centers, and we have affiliate locations. Our affiliate location is Ocean County College. So we have an office there where we can have our counseling, which is our one-on-one confidential counseling. Anything you say to us never gets shared with anyone else. All right. And Brookdale, our host institution, I can't say enough about our community college here in Monmouth County. Brookdale is an amazing institution, and Brookdale and the SBDC have been partners for almost 47 years. Our particular center was part of the pilot program that started the SBDCs in the state of New Jersey before it was actually a network. We're actually celebrating as a network our 45th anniversary this year. So look out for amazing information that's going to be coming from the state office, meaning the lead center, which is out of Rutgers University in Newark. And that information will tell you about the wonderful events that we will be holding through spring and summer throughout the whole state. So it's kind of having a little, I was calling it like a beer crawl, pub crawl or wine crawl, whatever you want to call it. To me, when wine, some people said beer, and I was like, whatever, pub crawl, one of those. So, but there'll be different events we'll be doing throughout the state of New Jersey, inviting our communities to come out and celebrate with us our 45th year and being able to provide you with the services that you need to see your businesses grow. And be sustainable. The biggest thrill for us is to see a business that has been able to not only start with us, but be around for a longevity of time. Our 2020 Success Award winner was Adult Care. We Care Adult Care, which is in Middletown. If you look up the address, it'll say Red Bank, but it's actually in Middletown, New Jersey. And they first received their Success Award back in, I want to say, in the late 90s, if not the early 2000s. And once again, they received a Success Award in 2020 because of the fact that they were able to sustain their business during the pandemic, through our help and through our assistance. So when we hear that there's a business that, comes to us, while they're doing fine and they don't believe they need assistance, it's a wonderful thing. But knowing that they could come back to us and tap into the information that we could provide them, the education we could provide them, because we do offer workshops, we do provide seminars, conferences. We do it all across the board, both through our local SBDC as well as through the state office. So there's different levels of information. The more you want to know about what programs are being offered, I highly recommend you visit our website, which is mosbdc.com. That's for locally, for Monmouth and Ocean County. But if you want to see what's being done statewide, visit njsbdc.com, which is for the state office. And the amount of webinars, seminars, conferences that is being provided throughout the state of New Jersey, you will be surprised as to the knowledge you could acquire. And for the most part, it's free. Sometimes there is a nominal fee attached to it, but our counseling sessions, our advisory sessions to you are always at no cost to you. So it's something that I do want to share with you, and I hope if you're listening to us for the first time, do want to remind you, my name is Dr. Jackeline Mejias Fuertes. I am the Regional Director of the Small Business Development Center at Brookdale Community College, also known as MOSBDC, which stands for Monmouth and Ocean Small Business Development Center. So with that, Therese, I want to tell you thank you for coming on. It was truly amazing for coming on and celebrating our SBDC Day here in our beautiful state of New Jersey, but more importantly, in our county, Monmouth County, just sharing a little information, our stakeholders as to why they believe we are important. I know why we're important, or else I would not be here for as long as I have, making sure that we do what we can. I do have an amazing team, and my amazing team will be coming on today as well, because I do want them to share their thoughts of the SBDC, because this is not done by me alone, absolutely not. I have an amazing team that really helps make sure that we provide you with the services that you need. So our next guest will be coming on, and who is my next guest? I don't know who's that. Oh,
thank you so much.
Oh no, it's the amazing lady here. Oh my God, Jennifer. And this, my dear friends, if you don't know who this is Jennifer Eckhoff, and she is the executive director of the Eastern Monmouth Area Chamber of Commerce.
Lovingly referred to as EMAC. So much easier.
I know, but I had to say the whole thing out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, needless to say, there's a lot that goes back with me and EMAC, or I should say I and EMAC, whichever way you want to say
Myself
it.
and
Yeah,
Me, myself, and
maybe
I. All three of you have been very involved in that.
Right, so truly involved with EMAC, with the Monmouth Chamber. When I started my business, that was the first chamber I joined. But EMAC, I actually worked for EMAC for a stint in my life as well, here in Monmouth County. And I, again, developed some amazing relationships, one being with Jen. And fact was that our kids used to swim together at the YMCA.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that. You're right. I forgot that. We used to do that. We used to hang out in the office. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Ray Eckhoff, Jen's husband, I met back in EMAC. I mean, so wow, we go back, and Jen has taken over EMAC. How long now?
It's been almost 4.5 years.
Wow. And I have to say, this lady is amazing.
Thank you,
She
Jackie.
absolutely rocks when it comes to doing what she does for both the EMAC, Eastern Monmouth Area Chamber of Commerce. I can say it real fast. And everything that she does. I mean, she has her, and I go she, but EMAC has their own podcast as well. And I'm going to have Jen talk about that as well. But in terms of connecting, you know, Jen will reach out to us as we will reach out to Jen as we need to connect to let individuals know about the resources that are available in any which way. Full disclosure, I sit on her board, so she gets to
Yeah,
tell
but
me what
only
to
for a
do.
month so far.
I know,
so
right?
I don't
Yeah,
get
so
to.
she's
You're my
like-
boss. I'm not your boss. You're my boss.
So no, that's what she likes to say, but I know what it is to sit on a board. So. Not really. So I know better. But the EMAC has been phenomenal. Again, one of the oldest, if not the oldest.
It's not the oldest.
Oh,
I
it's
can't
not?
claim that, but we have been running consistently without stopping or closing since 1928.
Wow.
Which, to me, when I found out that piece of history, the amazing fact that a year later was the Great Depression. And the chamber stayed running to help businesses during all of that. And then has since gone through all the ups and downs of the economics, hurricane, Superstorm Sandy, the pandemic. We went home on Friday and had our first virtual event on Monday. So, we just consistently kept going, and we've been doing it since 1928. So a really long time. I have not been involved that long, as we said, only 4.5 years. So I did not start this in 1928. Sometimes my body feels like I started this in 1928, but I didn't. I'm sorry. As you mentioned, I do this all the time. So it's very weird to be the one that's being interviewed, I have to say.
So, like I said, she does have a podcast show, and she does all the tech behind it, unlike moi.
Oh, no.
I thought, but I always see you with your laptop and your little...
Oh, I'm looking up stuff, and I've even given that up because Ming looks it up and puts it on the screen for me. Are you kidding? Oh, no, we love Ming.
Oh, so...
Oh,
all right,
no.
so I have to take that back.
Take that
then.
back.
All
I'm
right.
not that impressive, honey. I am a really good
she
faker.
is impressive. She is very impressive. So I thought Ming was... Oh, I didn't think it
Oh,
was Ming. I
no.
thought it was
Ming
you.
does everything. I mean, I do look my own stuff up on the computer, but even then, he's gotten so efficient at it that, yeah. And it's, no, it's all Ming. Or it's Chris or Christian or whoever happens to be working behind at the table who we just love all of our techs because they make us look
they are
really
amazing.
darn
They
good.
make I'm with you.
Yeah.
I have to say, Jen, I am
They
with you
make us look really darn good.
100%.
And what it was funny, I was listening to Ming, and what you and Ming were saying is that you don't have to know how to do this. Yeah. I too, as he said, he got roped in.
Yeah.
Julia made me come in. She's like, "Oh, you'll love it." I'm like, "Julia, I don't know what I'm doing." Oh yeah, you do. Julia and Mike, Ming was on the boards, and Julia and Mike are there, and they're talking to me, and next thing I know, I'm like doing this twice a month ever since then, and it's like my favorite. I call it my Oprah moment.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite part of my job because I get to like pretend I'm really important. It's really fun.
But you are important.
I
That's
am, but you
pretending.
know what? You're
That's not
right.
pretending.
You're right.
The work that you do for the community, I mean, for the business community, come on, Jen, you are definitely important.
Well, I think a chamber is important. And I think anybody in my role in any chamber is very important. The resources that a chamber of commerce provides, the ability to have relationships with people like MOSBDC, and other resources that we spend our time getting to know so that we know how to help our members and help businesses in the community learn about, anything start to finish on their business. We have a lot of resources to help us start up. We also have resources to help you wind down.
Right.
Because that's part of the
That's
whole
it.
business plan.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I did during the pandemic was I hired a business coach to help the chamber run more of a business. We came in, it was, again, it's been around a long time. So there's been a lot of leaders, and it certainly has not been consistent since 1928 because we don't know those people anymore. I have to say, we do have one member whose their company was a founding member in 1928, and they are still a member now. So shout out to Schwartz.
Whoa.
Schwartz Mazda. Yeah. So the
Nice.
grandfather helped start it. One of 11
Whoa.
businessmen in Red Bank started it in 1928.
Very
so
cool.
very cool. So anyway,
The longevity of some businesses
right?
and how they help. That's
Seriously.
why we're here.
You want to learn how?
Yeah, I know, right?
Exactly. There's lots of them out there.
Sustainability there. Whoa.
So, but anyway, the having that information to share and to direct people to, and we also do that for non-members.
Right.
We're a resource, we're a resource, and we know where we want to be able to tell you where to go, and how to find it, because our goal is to help everybody else be successful.
Yeah, and you guys do an awesome job.
Thanks.
I mean, like I said, we connect with them, they connect with us. They are our stakeholders. We're their stakeholders as well, because we know that together we could create such an amazing community. We are the foundation. So if we are sharing that information and that knowledge to help businesses, like you said, it is from beginning to end, because we are getting those individuals that are like, you know what, especially after the pandemic, the great assignation, they're not just retiring from a job they work for. They're retiring from their businesses, and they're trying to come up with their success plans and, succession plans, not success,
Right,
but
succession plans. So they've already been a success.
I know, right? So figuring out, how do I step out of this? But this is what we do.
This is what we do. We do a lot.
Yeah, you do.
We do, because if you think about business, it's, I don't know if other businesses are this way, but I know my business is not this way. There is never a day that's the same as the day before.
You're right.
And so the amount of information and times you have questions and need somebody, you may have friends who have businesses. You may have lots of people you're connected to in your same industry, but having lots of different people with different experiences, all different types of businesses, all different years of experiences, to be able to have those people at your fingertips as a resource. So as a member of the chamber, you have that because you have all the other members. But then as a member of the chamber, you have the chamber's resources that then, and the same thing for you. I'm sure that you introduce we had a business, we helped do that, and they did it really well. Why don't you reach out? And we'll find out for them, and if we can connect the two of you, that would be great. Because I was going to say, you can't just do what I do. I can say call these people, but
I have to get permission first.
There's the marketing marketing changes every week, every day. There's different products. There's, as we've all learned, how to pivot our business from one type of business to another type of business while still meeting your needs, and do it in a week. So it never stops. Business never stops. The questions never stop. The information never stops. It's like a hamster wheel. No.
And that's the SBDC. I have to say,
right?
We do. We're always adapting. I just find that's the word for us. We're always adapting. That what was the word that was being pivoting, right?
Pivoting.
With the pandemic, it was a pivot. And I said, for us, it's about adapting. That the SBDC knows it has to adapt, and we are continuously adapting to whatever is happening with our environment. And that's an individual thing with the SBDC, because what's happening to our SBDC here in the state of New Jersey doesn't mean that the same thing is happening down in Florida or in California. You're gonna adapt your SBDC to what's happening to your particular environment, economically, it could be physically. What is going on? How is Mother Nature treating you lately?
You know what I find really important at what you're saying about that is because you've been talking about how the SBDC is available in all 50 states, plus the 4
U.S. territories. Let's go with that.
The 4 other places. Those really great places that you want to go on vacation. So anyway.
There you go. Why am I sitting here versus one of those?
Yeah,
but
right? Anyway. But, what you said is it's local, because even though we've all just gone through this worldwide pandemic, each local place has had to handle it differently.
Right.
Each local states have had their own restrictions, have had, everything. So even though it's all over and the basic knowledge can be the same, you've also got that deep down, more intimate local knowledge that you need to have from you guys, and being different at every one, because everybody has different
Right. And even here in the state of New Jersey, our state is not that big when you look at it on the map, right?
Oh, yeah, but you can't get there from A to B without going for hours.
That's one thing. Don't try driving from the north to the south and think you're going to do that in an hour. Good luck on that.
Yeah.
Never ever going to happen.
And you can't actually get east to west. You can't do
Again,
that. So
not
it's a
gonna
really
happen.
unique state. We love where we live.
It is. It's so diverse. That's
It
the
really
whole thing.
is. It
Our
really
state is
is.
extremely diverse in so many ways, not just in its population, but in its area as well. You come when Monmouth and Ocean, I'd say Jersey Shore, the beginning of the Jersey Shore, and you work way down, but then you keep on going down, and that's where you are going to hit the southern area, Atlantic City and all of that, and then you're going to start coming back up, and that's when you start hitting some of the western part. You have Camden, and as you're coming up, you have Mercer County. So depending where you're going in the state of New Jersey.
We've got like the mountains, the farms, the
we
ocean,
have
the
it all.
rivers. We do.
That's
We
what I'm
have
saying.
it all.
We have it all. Depending what it is that you're interested in, do you want to slap on a pair of skis or snowboards? You're going north. You want to hit the beach? You're going to come south. You're going to go to the east.
And we talked about it being longer than an hour, but it's not like 4 hours. So like you can live in
True.
this, you can be in this state and do it all
Exactly.
in a day.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, you could. You could. I mean, it'd be kind of go skiing and go to the beach on the same day. It would be a little bit tough. I mean, you can. You just don't want to show up in your flip flops on the beach that day that you've gone skiing.
Exactly.
And if you like to, if you want to ski on some handy wrap on your feet down the grass, try that too. You never know.
I know, but you get it all. And I have to say, the thing about our county here, our county is amazing. I mean, with the parks and everything that we have, and everything that's always been, we're so open to business, which is key. And that is what I love about
very much.
working with our different stakeholders here in both Monmouth and Ocean County, is that the opportunities. There are opportunities here, and we really work with our clients and your members to make
and
sure
I was gonna say,
they take advantage of it.
What I like about being here too is I find that our legislators, our leaders, are very pro business in this area. I mean, they're looking at tech development, they're looking at all sorts of different stuff to keep us a place in the state and keep our state as a place that companies want to come to and work. So we're dealing with that with our local leaders as well as the whole thing, and we're very pro. It's a very good pro business area in Monmouth and Ocean County.
It is. We care about our small businesses.
We care about our people.
We do. And especially the chamber. Like I said, the chamber does amazing things. They have tremendous lineup. Again, I don't know how this woman does it all.
I have an awesome team, and I have great volunteers.
Hence,
I have some really good board members too, like you and your next guest, and
So we do exist, but we're here for a purpose. And I know that not just a purpose, but it's a passion that we share, a love that we share. We care about our communities because we do live within the communities here that we serve. Not that you have to, but we do.
Yeah, the commute's really far. If you don't.
I know, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do traffic. And
My
it's like
10 minutes
15
with the New
minutes.
Jersey
I
Water
know.
Works tearing apart the roads is just really killing me. Sorry, New Jersey American Water. We love you. We know this is important.
So it is, but knowing that it is so local, and again, like here, you're looking at Bellworks, we're looking outside of, I want to call this our fishbowl right now.
I
'cause
kinda-
people
so-
are walking by and they're smiling and they're going, oh, what are they doing, right?
Oh, let me tell you. So we had the first time we had a podcast in the fishbowl was just Friday.
Oh, you did?
We always are behind the curtain at the table,
Right.
which is really cool too. But we tried the fishbowl, and I sat in a chair and made my guests sit here because I didn't trust myself not to get distracted. So I sat over there, and my guests sat here, and I'm like, you guys have to deal with all the dogs walking by. And they're so cute. And in the mornings, we're here in the mornings, everybody walks by with their dogs. It's like their laps, so you're seeing like the same cute dogs walking around. But it is, and then they stop and they look at you, and you're supposed to be able to they think you're, and you're supposed to be able to ignore them. Somebody I won't say who, but somebody behind the curtain today said they were going to come out and make faces and jump around at us, but they haven't done that, thank goodness. So, yeah.
I'm sure doesn't want it happening to them. That's all.
Yeah, could be. I don't know though, because we could pay someone out there to do it. It would be really fun. Like, why is that stranger making faces at me?
Awesome. But no, so Jen, a little
So,
bit about
Jacqueline.
yourself. A little bit about yourself, because
about
I know you, but our guests don't know you.
Okay,
And
so-
besides being the executive director, I mean, you came from somewhere, Jen. I mean, you're amazing.
My parents
as
used
a
to tell me I
director.
came from under a rock in Stony Creek, which is the truth. But I was also, I'm sorry, I was born in Tennessee. There's redneck jokes. I can't help it. I didn't know that. So I was born in Tennessee. When I was in second grade, I moved to New Hampshire. So one of the interesting facts about me is I can't spell because my mother would give me my spelling words. And then I'd go to school and the teacher gave words that I'd never heard before. Because if you think about the way someone would say a pencil and a pencil,
Ooh, okay.
right? So it's a struggle in my life, but I've overcome it. I majored in fashion merchandising, went to the University of Delaware, met my husband, never went home. Came here. This is now my home. We got married in 1990. I think in 1991 he started getting involved in the chamber. So, through our 31 years of marriage, the chamber has been part of our lives. So different things have happened. I worked for a while. I worked in printing. I was a graphic designer. I've done everything. Who cares what your college degree is, people? I'm just saying you can do whatever you want.
Oh, you had your own business as well.
Well, I did. I did have a graphic design business. Yeah. Yes, I did that for a while. Raised our kids. And then I was doing some other, nonprofit volunteer work. And Ray said to me, we really need your help at the chamber. Can you come in? And this is a fun story. I like to say the story. I'm like, what good is a chamber? Everybody's interacting online now. That's why I go, really, is it going to last? Holy cow, was I wrong. I have learned so much about the essential parts of a chamber of commerce. So if that's what you're thinking, dead wrong, people, dead wrong. So anyway, I came here just kind of on an interim basis, just filling in, and found out I love it. It is everything I love to do. I love people. I know Therese said the same thing. I love people, but what I've really learned to love is I love running a business.
Nice.
I love connecting businesses with each other to help grow their businesses. I love working with so many different types of people and like I said before, it is never the same thing every day. So, 31 years of marriage, it used to be date night. Now he's like, are you coming home for our date? Because you're stuck in the office working. It is anytime you work for a nonprofit, it is a job of passion. Because
SBDC, nonprofit.
Anytime you work for a nonprofit, it is definitely a job of passion. Not every nonprofit, is like that, but many that are charity and focused on providing for others. The income is not there, the money is not there, and you spend most of your money on programming. So your staff really has to love your team. Sorry, guys. Your team really has to love what they're doing because you go above and beyond because the passion just gets at you no matter what you do. So
I want you guys to know, definitely check out EMAC, which is emacc.org, especially for their upcoming events. They have a special one coming up next week.
Today, Wednesday?
Yeah.
A week from today, yeah. Only 200 plus people in a room to celebrate, 7 people.
I am so grateful she's here right now because her mind is probably going, okay, Jackie, I need to put things in order for next week.
It was nice.
Spinnaker Awards,
our Spinnaker Awards, which is our 30th annual Spinnaker Awards also. So they've been doing these awards for 30 years.
Yeah.
And we have not missed one during the pandemic. I have to say, we have really lucked out. We did not have to do a virtual one, and we did not miss out on any.
That's fantastic.
But again, like Monmouth Regional, we also have a breakfast meeting. We only have one a month, people. Sorry. We have breakfast meeting once a month. We have business after hours once a month. We have we have ENG, which is EMAC's Next Generation, Our Young Professionals. We have Women in Business, and we have Health and Wellness. Yes. So we have lots of committees, lots of different industries that get to connect together and then branch out and connect with other industries.
Cool.
I think one of the really cool things is to make those connections inside, but also to realize that people who run businesses and come into the same issues that can be helpful no matter what industry they're in.
Right. And that's why it's important for us to connect with you. And I know that especially, even before the pandemic, anytime that they needed something, they knew to connect with the SBDC. And I laughed because I remember when the pandemic first started, first call I got from Jen is, will you be available on Zoom?
Will you be available? Because I have questions.
And it was like, are you ready for those questions regarding, PPP and everything else that was coming down the pike at the time?
But we definitely, I know we definitely had your information was going through our press releases as fast as we could get it out there. You were, sharing our information, and it was really about working together to get everybody what they needed to know.
And that's what we do.
Yeah.
And I have to say that with our stakeholders here in the counties that we work in, it's important that we have our relationship with our stakeholders. And I'm happy that our stakeholders feel the same way.
Thank you, we do.
Because it is important for us, and especially not just for us, but because of whom we serve. Mm-hmm. And it is the business community. It is that entrepreneur who really is in love with their idea, but really needs to figure out, is this idea, is this something that's attainable? Is it feasible? Do I move forward with it? And if so, how do I go about actually doing that and making it happen? So for us, making sure that we build these relationships is critical for us. So making sure that we continue on with these amazing individuals that come into our lives, that because we share the same passion, that's why they also sit on our boards, and we meet as often as we can.
Because again, we're in similar industries, and we need to share ideas and thoughts. And
absolutely. I mean, all of our ideas do not come from our team alone. We have to.
No man is an island.
We're always asking, what is it? Right. No man
is an island.
And we're always asking, what is it that we're not doing that we should be doing? So we ask that.
Can I just mention something about that? I don't know if people understand how important that question is when someone asks you. They're not asking you for lip service.
Right.
People like Jacqueline and the SBDC and EMAC, and I'm sure other chambers, we think we know what you want. But unless you tell us what you want, we don't know. So I know for our events and our programs, and we try to bring you information, we want to know what you want to hear, right? If you tell us what you want to hear, you'll get it. Ask and you shall receive, right? I mean, like, it's just, and we find we ask that question a lot, and people don't tell us. And it's like, we're not just asking because someone said, hey, ask. We're asking because we'd like an answer. So if you've got ideas or thoughts, we're both open to anything you've got to say.
Absolutely, always. So, if it's a program that you think we should be running, or information that we don't have readily available on our website or through some social media platform, ask us. We're open. I mean, we're always open, and we love collaborations. That's why we like working with our chambers. We like working with other organizations, just to make sure that we are able to share the information, but definitely to make sure it gets disseminated out to as many individuals as possible. I know not everyone is part of a chamber, not everyone is part of a business organization, but if we share with enough individuals, if we collaborate with enough organizations, we want to make sure, at one point they used to say the SBDC was America's best kept secret.
No secrets. No. Nobody wants to be America's best kept secret.
And that was when I came on board 14 years ago. I said, it is my mission to eliminate that. And wherever I go, I'm always asking, do you know of the SBDC? If you don't, then it is my job. And I work with my team, and I go, it is our job to make sure that we communicate with them and we inform them of the services that are available through our SBDC. So anything else you want to share regarding EMAC? I am so, again, honored, not just for our friendship, but for all the collaborations that we have throughout the years that we're able to work together, for everything you do for the business community. Because again, without a chamber, without EMAC, who, oh my God, I can't believe how many years, EMAC
we've known, as we said, we've known each other through the chamber without being with the chamber.
Like, exactly.
Not both of us at the same time. Now we finally are. Now we are finally working together as part of the chamber, which is awesome.
So true. But very true. Yeah, but it is. I mean, and, we're all about giving. It is part of who we are. We're all about giving back to, again, the communities that we serve, but we also live in the communities.
Yes.
Jen and I live in Monmouth County as well, so we give back to our communities. We know how important that is. It's part of, who we are, and I am grateful to have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. So thank you for having me. No, like I said, it's very fun being a guest as well. I do tend to take over, and I apologize for that. But, thank you again to A Shared Universe, a really unique concept and just a blast. And they are always there to make us look really good, which I love.
That. I just love that. And I love what you just said about them, because it's so true.
Yeah,
they are.
They want to share they love doing this. They love to share their passion. And then honestly, every guest I've ever had come in here going, I'm so nervous. When can I do it again? After an hour. You're like, really? That was an hour? Yeah. So if you want to listen to some of our podcasts and find out more stuff about our members, we're on EMAC on Facebook, EMAC at EMAC NJ, EMACC all of our podcasts are on our Facebook page, also on our website, and we also do them live 2 Fridays a month at 9 a.m. from this studio or Red Bank. So
she is pretty amazing, and she has it down packed. We're still working on getting ours. We're going to be more consistent. that I could say. So with ours, but we do try to get a few of them out throughout the year.
It's fun.
It is absolutely fun. The whole thing is, I said, oh, can I do them in half an hour stint? That doesn't work, because I'm like, talking.
Can't stop. Yeah,
the
it's
problem here is,
Yeah.
I read somewhere today where someone put up a comic strip and they said, remember when you were in school, the problem was your child does not know how to stop talking?
Yeah, I never grew out of that, right? Did you? No, I never did. No.
I was like, you're looking at the picture, right?
Yeah.
So same scenario.
We're just
when
going
it
to put out
comes
the
to-
same comic strip. Hey, Ming, will you produce our next comic strip where it's just me and Jacqueline with our mouths going and we can, that's it. Okay.
So that's it.
So anyway, I'm going to stop now. But thank you. Thank you for
Thank
having
you,
me.
Jen.
Thank you for everything you do.
Oh. Thank you.
I'm
you
going to hug
too.
your next guest, too. I love this.
So my next guest, our next guest.
The wrong side. I don't know what you're people.
So that'll be interesting. Well, we have our next guest, who's definitely important to us at our SBDC in more ways than one, and new to podcasting, so a little nervous. But this is no. There you go. You're good. You're
made it.
good. Yes, Matt. Yay! So Matt Schneider is VP with TD Bank, and Matt is not only, like I said, a VP of TD Bank, but he also sits on our advisory board. And I don't even know how many years you've been on our advisory board.
18 years. Well,
So, yeah. And what I have to say is that his service to us, I am definitely grateful. Always looking out for the SBDC in terms of helping others become educated as to what we do, not just individuals and businesses, but organizations as well. Matt, I don't think ever misses our meetings, which is pretty amazing with his schedule, but always helping us. One of the things that we were mentioning before, one of the things a successful business person or business itself. She's doing it to you. She
knew
got you.
she's gonna pay me back.
She got you. So one is a mentor. We talked about mentorship. We talked about education. But there's another component, which is finance. And one of the things that the SBDC has to do is form relationship with financial institutions. And the reason being is that our, I want to say customer clients, it's important that we prepare them the best way possible in order for them to obtain a loan, simply because at one point or another in their business journey, as they grow, they're going to need some financial capital in order to keep on moving forward. But in order to obtain that, it's never that easy, right? So we have individuals like Matt, right, who comes in and gives us pointers, always giving us pointers on how we can improve the services that we're providing the business community, because he sees it from the other end, on the commercial side, and say, we're having these businesses come in and they're not even prepared, right? So how do we prepare them? But before we go into that, I'm going to let Matt do some talking because he's being quiet since he's like, this is my first go around. So I don't know what to do right now, but it's
Going
all
with the
about
flow.
yes, that's it. It's going with the flow. But again, thank you for being here with us on ASBDC Day. And for those of you who just may be tuning in right now, my name is Dr. Jackeline Mejias Fuertes. I am the Regional Director of the Small Business Development Center at Brookdale Community College, covering Monmouth and Ocean County, also known as MOSBDC, which stands for Monmouth Ocean Small Business Development Center. And today we have Matt Schneider, or Matthew Schneider, real name, well, actual name. We just call him Matt for short. All right, so Matt, again, someone I've known, oh my God, for years.
Yep.
Again, being involved in the business community, and I live here as well. Extremely important to me, the relationships that I've made throughout the years, and especially being an entrepreneur, working, as you heard, at the chamber at one point or another. I've just met some incredible people who care so much about the business community. That being said, Matt is one of them. Making sure that, also helps us stay on our toes, because he will call me out if something is not, as it should be. So Matt, a little
Just
bit about yourself.
gentle suggestions. that's
Yes,
all.
which I appreciate. And you're a huge sponsor of our Women Entrepreneurs Rock, which we are totally appreciative all the
Great
time.
event.
But
Great
now,
event.
all right, Matt, a little bit about yourself. Let them know who you are and what you do
Well,
at TD Bank.
As you were talking to Jen, I was realizing that I remember you were with the chamber as well. I serve on Jen's board as a EMAC board member, and I've been with the bank now for 27 years.
Wow.
And I've been involved since I became a lender. I've been involved in the chamber, so back '03, and I started. I met with your predecessor and
Right.
got involved with this organization. And you mentioned journey, and I think that's so important because a lot of times people come into a bank and they said, "I just need someone to believe in me. I need them to believe my story." And it's not that we don't ever believe that story or want to believe that story. It's where are you in the journey? Have you taken the preparatory steps to be ready to come to the bank? And you might be great at doing whatever it is, the business that you run. Ming was on here earlier. He talked about how he knows how to run the podcast, and the tech is where he started, but he might not know the financial aspect. So if a person comes in and they're just not ready, we need to have partners in the community and resources that we can refer people to that can help them have the best chance to succeed. Not only to get a loan, but we want to see their businesses succeed. We want to be able to drive by their business someday and say, I helped them succeed.
That feels great.
Yeah,
I have to
that's
say, that feels great. I know
we're
what
not
that
all evil
feels like.
bankers. We want to help we live in these communities too. We want to help our teammates, our partners in the community succeed. We want to build those. I've built relationships over these years. People have become extended family to me, and so I'm not going anywhere. This is where I live, and so we want to help them succeed, whether that's building the relationship with the bank or just what's best for them. And sometimes the answer is going to be you're not ready. One of the biggest obstacles is getting the right capital, funding. Do you have enough, the ability to sustain if nobody knows about you yet because you haven't networked
right.
and you haven't marketed, or do you have enough money to do the marketing to get the word out about how great you are at whatever it is you do? You need to figure that out. Where's that money coming from? And so, doing a business plan. We always talk about it. The Small Business Development Center events. We need a business plan.
So whenever we have our events, right? We have our access to capital events. So a component of that event is providing the participants with information. One of them is business plan. What do? I rope in Matt to talk about the business plan because he's so good at it. So it's business plan and relationship building.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, Matt, can you talk about it? Make sure that the audience understands why it's so important to make sure that you have a business plan. And you'll hear later on from a pre-recorded message from one of our clients where he goes, the SBDC beat me over the head with the business plan. And he goes, and boy, am I happy they did. So when you hear us talking about the business plan, it's not that we're trying to be evil or cruel, but listen
Absolutely.
to Matt. Matt is coming from the financial end, and these are the things that they're looking for. So we collaborate with Matt and other financial institutions, TD Bank and all the other lenders that are out there to find out what is it that we need to do
Exactly.
to prepare you, the small business owner, the entrepreneur, in order for you to obtain that loan. If you want to go at it alone, by all means, but don't come crying the other way and say, they told me no, and they keep on saying no without looking to see, what did I do that... Hey! Oops, sorry, I shouldn't be saying hey when somebody walks by.
The fishbowl
I
struck.
know, fishbowl. They caught me only because they know who I am. And that wasn't a good one. But it is fun, I have to say. But going back to the business plan, but why, Matt makes a point of it, but it really is to serve our communities. But Matt, for us, has been so instrumental, and I believe I'm happy to report that because of that, our SBDC has been so much better at what we do. And I've been to events where Matt has informed other individuals, you need to go talk to Jackie. She has an amazing event that you should be a part of. So he really does. Talk about an advocate for the SBDC. Oh my gosh, I want a poster of Matt. Because talk about being an advocate.
We don't want to
for the
scare
SBDC.
anyone.
No. We won't. A recording. It's just that alone. Every time I meet someone or I'm at an event and Matt is there as well, he definitely goes out of his way to talk about the SBDC and to make sure I am connected to new individuals that I may not be aware of that he's been exposed to. And he feels that, this can really help the SBDC, or it can help a particular event that we're having within the SBDC, in terms of helping get the word out, to obtain sponsorship, to connect with a specific market, audience. So Matt is definitely one of our huge advocates for the SBDC, and that's why I was extremely grateful when he said he would come on today to talk, and share on the podcast, because, he is what, this year the SBDC nationwide came up with the term ambassadors. And I want to say that all the individuals that we had on today, except for me, who's our client, but he's also one of our ambassadors, they were all ambassadors for our SBDC. Not only do they know what we do, but they share the information with other individuals, with individuals within your organization alone. Matt has introduced me to so many others from TD Bank. When someone leaves or someone else comes in new, Matt is from Monmouth County, but they have branches down in Ocean. So he connects us with those in Ocean. So then this way, when we're working with our clients in Ocean, we know who to connect with. We have our own capital team through our own SBDC, and within that capital team, Matt has connected us with whomever we need from TD Bank. So, for us, we are grateful, for Matt, for what he does for us. And again, he knows.
This is great.
Yeah, he's really, Matt is
I like
really,
podcasting.
Really good.
This is fun.
Jen, you got another one here. So for us, but as Matt knows how important the SBDC is. Though.
Well, you say I'm an advocate for you, but the truth is, it's a two-way street, because there are times when, as a banker, I need help helping a client. And there's only so much that I can do when the bank has to make a credit decision. So having partnerships like this where we can help ultimately help the client together in the best way possible, where you can give feedback that doesn't put me in a situation where I have a conflict of interest, where I'm trying to help the client, but then I have to make the credit decision on what I just told them. And so that this way we can partner, we can give them the resources. It's not free; it's free to the customer, right? See,
Exactly.
I picked up all the terminology, but this way
I've trained them.
we're helping ultimately get a success story, and the success story is the best ambassador. It's the best marketing tool, because look, it can happen. You can do this too. And so, it like I said at the beginning, it makes me feel better when I drive by that person's place of work and say, hey, I did my small part to help that person succeed. And that gives me a lot of personal satisfaction. Yeah. I know Jen and you guys talked about service, and there's different ways to serve people. And if that's what you have in front of mind, is how can we do the best or right thing for this person, we're all going to succeed.
And I'm with you on that. And I agree with how you feel when you see someone that you've helped, like a shared universe. How proud am I, or, how do I feel amazed, not even amazed. I'm trying to articulate it properly as to how I feel when I see a client that comes to me and says, wow, because of you've inspired me enough to want to push myself, or because of the resources you introduced me to, look at what's become of my business. To definitely visit our website, mosbdc.com, and you'll see some more quotes of different clients that, and testimonials, not just quotes, but testimonials from different clients as to how we've been able to assist them, from different industries. I always say we're not experts within a particular industry, but we are experts when it comes to business management and organization. And that's key, because if you don't know how to run your business is going to fail.
Exactly.
So yes, you do. And we love when our clients come in and teach us about their industry. If we're not familiar with their industry, there's some industry, yes, we are extremely familiar with, but there's some that are out there. Like, I found out a lot about mining. Did I think I was going to need to know that? Not in this lifetime, but now I know.
Right.
So it all depends who the client is and what they're willing to teach us and what is it that we need to know in order to help them move the needle forward.
Right.
And that is what we do. So, we serve in so many different ways.
Absolutely.
And that's why, for myself, I am honored and proud to work for the SBDC. I always say, when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, and that still stands, it's holds true to me. I just happen to be one of those lucky individuals where I work for what I call two organizations. I consider myself a hybrid because I do work for the NJSBDC, which stands for New Jersey Small Business Development Center Network, and I also work for Brookdale Community College. And I have to say, both institutions are inspirational in terms of what they want for the communities that they serve, and they do whatever they can in order to allow us to move that needle forward and make it feasible, make it happen for the business community and for the entrepreneurs. And for that, I am truly grateful. So, Matt, I am so giddy because, like he said, he goes, I haven't done a podcast and Jen wants me to do it. I guess I got to bite the bullet. So he came on Talk of Success today to share. This is his inaugural podcast.
First
so
one.
now it's been done. And
I appreciate you didn't throw any curveballs at me yet.
No.
Got my feet wet.
Kept it simple. Now we're going to be ending our podcast, but before we do that, I am going to bring on my team, because as I said before, no one person could do this alone.
That's right.
I firmly believe that. I don't care who you are, what you think you
Absolutely.
are. Even when you're running your business on your own, you cannot do this on your alone. Rather, the SBDC is here to help you. No man is an island. If you ever take one of my classes, you will hear me say that. Always stating why. You're going to need a banker. You're going to need individuals that are located within the chamber. You're going to need an attorney. You're going to need an accountant. So while you may think, oh, they're not my employees, believe it or not, they are your external employees.
Absolutely.
Think of it that way, because they're working with you on some capacity. And from the SBDC standpoint, I know that as a leader, this cannot happen if I did not have an amazing group of individuals that work with us. Or work with me, rather. And my particular team is made out of consultants, which you can visit our website, mosbdc.com, and see the consultants. Their beautiful faces are there in their About section, so you can see them under consultants. But right now, I'm going to bring on my team, my internal team that works in the office, which is made out of my assistant director, our main office person or admin, and then we have an office assistant. So I'm going to have each one of them come in and introduce themselves and say a few words as to how they feel about working at the ASBDC. And it's about working at the ASBDC. I don't know what they would say about me. So
It's on camera. This is safe.
I know, right? But with that, Matt, thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing a few words with us regarding ASBDC. Yeah, there you go. Best advice ever. So who's coming up first? Yes, no, you could go one at a time. There you go. So we have Maggie first, our assistant director.
I know. We
Maggie,
weren't
welcome.
warned about this. We
I
weren't
know.
warned. This is completely ad lib.
I know. I always tell them I hate when they make me do this ad lib, but I'm doing it to them right now. So Maggie Omolsky. Did I get it right? Omolsky.
Close.
Which one?
Osmolsky.
Omolsky.
Pretended.
Oh my-
I know the things you do for love. I kind of wish I'd never changed it.
No, but I keep on crucifying her name, and I should not do
But my
that.
maiden name was Schaefer, and I used to just say,
I
like
could
the
do
beer.
Schaefer. See, Schaefer I could have
Yeah,
done
yeah,
Maggie.
that would've been a lot
But
easier,
Maggie
but-
has been our assistant director going on 3 years now, right?
Since-
2000 what?
Since November 2018. Yeah.
Oh,
time
so
flies.
oh my God, it's going on 4 years.
Yeah. The blur of the pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's going on 4 years. There goes Matt trying to be funny as we're in the fishbowl. But okay, so Maggie, like she said, she started with us in 2018. She's right. I'm putting 20 and 21 together, and I shouldn't. But she has been doing an amazing job.
And I feel very lucky to have found this job. I have a mixed past. I had 20 some years in corporate America, and then I helped my husband run a small business in Monmouth County for a few years until he wanted to retire from that. So I went from an environment where I had multi-million dollar budget to one where every penny counted, of course, because it was ours. So I feel like I really do have a balanced perspective on that. And I just feel very, very fortunate, especially these last couple of years through the pandemic, to be there to help people. Until you have a job like that, I don't know that you appreciate it enough. There's so many jobs out there, you're just doing your thing. But if you can really feel the gratitude from those that you're helping, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and that's how I do feel about this job.
That's how I feel about Maggie coming on board, that it is a blessing. Maggie has brought her knowledge and her patience to work with our clients, because sometimes we need a lot of patience, especially within the last 2 years. And I have to say, needed, as Maggie stated, there was such a huge need. There's always a need in the small business community, and we know that working through the SBDC, and we're always here to provide, as much information as necessary, helping each individual in what they need to obtain whatever information in order to make the decisions that they need in order to move their business forward. Not always easy, sometimes there's a challenge, but we take it on and we really work with the businesses to make sure that it happens. It does bring us joy, because when we see our success winners, that we select them, we look at them, we know the joy that they bring us when they come into the office, and they're so overwhelmed and happy with the success of their business, and they share that with us, that how can you not feel great about what we do?
Of course. And I'm always learning too. I have what I can share to them, but then I'm learning about, I didn't know anything about apiaries, owning beehives, and making honey, and so every encounter I have with a client, I take away something too, which I think is wonderful.
I agree. So we're always learning at our SBDC. It's not a thing that Jen had put it, that every day is different, and boy, is every day different.
Absolutely.
You may think your schedule is going to go one way, and it starts off one way, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to end up the same way. So I have been blessed, again, to have Maggie come on to be part of our team in the way that she works with our client, that she's part of our team, and that we're always, we work together to make sure we're achieving the main directive. And that directive is to help that entrepreneur, that small business owner, with reaching their level of success, whatever success may be to them, because we know that that's independent. Not everybody shares the same definition as success. So for us, that is key. And again, I'm very blessed to have Maggie be part of our team.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank
It's been
you,
my
Maggie.
pleasure. Thank you.
All right, so our next team member up is, who's our next one?
Ernestine.
Our associate, and the individual who I cannot do without one hair nor the other, because she's obviously always taking care of us. There we go. So we have Ernestine Keith, and Ernestine Keith is our associate, and they changed titles, so I don't know, it kind of falls on the admin, but does everything else in the office to make sure that we actually run smoothly. One thing about Ernestine Keith is that Ernestine Keith has been with me for a decade. We will be celebrating, I know, and I say a decade because Ernestine came on board with me when I became a director. I've been here longer than that because I was the assistant director, and once I became the director, what happens is that a team retires, and at that point, about 75% of the team retired before the last 25 retiring too. So on that point, I had the opportunity to select Ernestine out of a group of interviewees, and I have to say, it wasn't even luck. I received the prize. So Ernestine, tell us a little bit about you. So, and what do you love about, if you love working about the SBDC? Because everyone gets to connect with Ernestine if you call our office. And she is, if you ever want to teach someone about, it goes beyond compassion. It goes beyond customer service. Ernestine is it. So Ernestine, because you're being so quiet. So
I love working at the Small Business Development Center. We're located at Brookdale Community College. But more than that, and I want to thank Jacqueline for those kind words, but what Jacqueline doesn't realize is that she taught me. I'm the gatekeeper, and I've watched her over the last, how many years, Jacqueline? 10 years.
It's a decade.
And I saw the compassion, and it was beyond compassion for all of the walk-ins over the phone, clients that would call in. And it was just pure, like, I want to help, I want to help, I want to help. And I thought, I want that energy. And so she made everyone feel as if they were the most important entrepreneur on the planet, looking to set up their own business. And that's rare, and that's a skill that most people don't have. And it's great because we have a wonderful team. We have Maggie Osmowski. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. And we have...
I did a better job than I did.
Maggie is wonderful with the clients. I'm constantly saying, okay, wait until you speak to Maggie, you're going to learn so much. And she's the right person to talk to register your business. And we also have Annabelle Rojas. And Annabelle, with our team, and of course, Jacqueline kind of sets the tone, but we have an amazing team. And every client that we talk to really appreciate what Jacqueline does and what her entire team does. Because I'm always saying, Jacqueline, she says, nope. She's always saying, it's the team, it's the team. And you know what? That's true. It is the team. And I love the way that it's a family. And just like in any family, there's ups and downs. But the key is, the core is that we're family. And I love the service that we provide to so many entrepreneurs who are looking to either start or expand their business.
Thank you, Ernestine. And like Ernestine said, she is our gatekeeper. So you got to get past her to get to any of us. Not always easy, as you may think. But she's been instrumental, always making sure that she's able to navigate people into the right places so they really don't have to wait to actually speak to one of us, because we've automated quite a few things within our center, and it's again to speed up the process. We try to use technology to be efficient, so this way we could move the individuals that are coming in for our services along. And so this way, by the time they connect with us for their consulting sessions, we're getting right deep down into what kind of assistance they want. And this way we can move them along their path, their journey a lot quicker than was anticipated. Like I said, Ernestine being with me for a decade, she knows me pretty well. So, but her patience is really amazing because you need to have patience. And I know that working with the small business community, because we know how stressful it is, especially when you're starting a business. And her depth of knowledge from working in big corporate America, because that's where Ernestine did come from, and understanding, and then working at Brookdale Community College in a different section, bringing that together and bringing her different areas of expertise to our center in order to help run it efficiently and effectively was instrumental. So for that, I'm always grateful to Ernestine and for everything that she does to make sure that, we're checking off our boxes and making sure that we are accomplishing everything that we set off to do. Okay, thank you, Ernie.
Thank you.
Okay. And then we have our last but not least by any stretch of the imagination, we have Ms. Annabelle Rojas. Where is she? And I am going to make this a little simpler for Annabelle because Annabelle is definitely super instrumental for us because, Annabelle came to us as one of the students from Brookdale. And this is how her path intertwined with us. She started off as a student worker, and then we hired her. She was so amazing in terms of the tech end of it and everything. But one of the things about Annabelle that's truly great is the fact that Annabelle is bilingual. And when I started with the SBDC years ago, one of the things that I saw in the counties that we serve was the growing population, the Hispanic population, and the need to provide programming for them, and not just in their natural language, because while I am Latina, in case you guys did not notice by that long name, Mejias Fuertes, I am Latina, but I was born and raised in New York City. Spanish is my first language. The bottom line is that since I know both languages, it comes easy to me to learn anything, not difficult. I can learn it in Spanish and English translates rather easy in my brain. However, when you are, and I'm just saying Latin in terms of the two language because the two languages that we speak within our office is Spanish and English, is that if you have to translate something from your native tongue to English, it takes time and you tend to lose things and you can't grasp all the information as you should. So with Annabelle coming on board, this was just like perfect. Not that that's why we hired her. We hired her because of her amazing abilities anyway, but she added to our team, kind of helping my dream that I had put back in my head because it wasn't materializing the way I wanted it to until I collaborated with another organization outside of the SBDC, CAR, Community Affairs Resource Center, when I collaborated with them to bring together a bilingual entrepreneurship program. And through Annabelle's amazing help, we're up to our 4th cohort. I mentioned it earlier. And Annabelle has been so instrumental in making sure that everything in the bilingual program runs as it should. In terms of helping me make sure that the curriculum that I developed was usable, was feasible. We work with other instructors that are also bilingual. The program is actually taught both in Spanish and English. My preference is that it's 70-30, 70% in Spanish, 30% in English. I'm a firm believer that those individuals who are looking to start their business, get them off the ground, do need to understand English. I don't want them to create a business just to keep it in the community where they speak mostly Spanish. I would like their businesses to expand. And in order to do so, they have to feel comfortable with the English language. So, Annabelle, puede hablar en tu idioma natural, con cual tú quieras, inglés o español, pero te doy las gracias porque sin ti sé que no podía lograr todo lo que estamos haciendo en el centro. So, El
Sí.
piso es tuyo.
Gracias, Jacqueline, doctora Jacqueline, por esas palabras tan lindas. Realmente llegan a mi corazón. Y sobre todo, gracias por la oportunidad que me ha dado de formar parte de este maravilloso team. Sobre todo, trabajar con el programa bilingüe virtual me llena de satisfacción porque puedo ver la comunidad latina realmente decidida a qué, aprender y a formar parte de este team maravilloso que va a empujar esta nación hacia adelante. Así que me siento bien bendecida, agradecida a Dios, agradecida a usted, agradecida al SBDC de esta gran oportunidad.
So she is grateful for the opportunity that she's had here. ¿Quiere decirlo en inglés?
Okay.
Gracias, porque she can say both. I don't have to translate
So-
for her, so I'm not going to.
I'm going to try.
No, and you don't have to try. You speak very well English, so you can go right ahead.
Thank you. I feel really blessed being part of this team, being part of SBDC, and work with Jacqueline, with Ernestine, with Maggie, with all the team. When I can see the people, the Hispanic population knock our door at SBDC, it's a big opportunity that we have as team to give the chance to learn how to set up a business, how to contribute to this community. So thank you for this big opportunity. I'm here to continue working with this amazing team.
And I have to say, Annabelle is one of our graduates from our entrepreneurship certificate program, the bilingual program, because she took it herself. And as such, Annabelle actually started her own business as well. We do side hustles all over the place, even at the SBDC, right? Everyone has, kind of not comes up, somehow, somewhere, we end up doing a side hustle. And Annabelle actually she went through the program because she did want to take the bilingual entrepreneurship certificate program. So she had the opportunity to complete it, received the certificate of completion for the program. But Annabelle has since November, in November started her own business, and it's now, so say a little bit about that. So
Okay, thank you. Yes, so I took the program bilingual certificate program that gave me the inspiration to run my own business. So I decide after that I take the classes, I'm ready. I learn what is the main idea we need to have and we need to do in order to set up a business and run our own business. So now I'm working with my own business in Touchstone Crystal by Swarovski. I am a group leader already, and I have the opportunity to connect with the people in this community running my own business.
Yes, so she took it a step further and a lot quicker than she had anticipated. So she is a group leader now. And what is the company name that you're working with?
Touchstone Crystal by Swarovski.
Touch and Stone, right?
Touch and
Stone
Crystal.
Crystals by Swarovski. Not to do a plug for her, but look at these rings. They're amazing. I know, right? They're amazing. I'm wearing some. But no, so she did start her own business, and she's already a group leader. And part of it is what she learned from the entrepreneurship program. So this is just, for those of you that are looking at this, it'll come to you from different ways. You realize that you want to start a business. Check out your SBDCs, see how they can help you. Whether it's your own consulting business, whether you're looking to create a tech business, what is it that you are looking to create? If it's something that inspires you, motivates you, you have a passion for, you would like to find out if it's something that's feasible, check us out. mosbdc.com. We're on the web, of course. Our handle for everything in social media is mosbdc.com. So you can find us. As long as you type that in, we are going to come up. Do follow us on social media by all means. Check out our Facebook page as well. And this has been going on. I have no idea for how long because my eyes are good, but I can't read that clock right now. So I have no clue how long Ming has allowed us to talk or allowed me to talk. Remember, I'm the one from school that had a talking problem. So do not know when to, keep it or stop it, because I just enjoy it. I enjoy communicating. I enjoy sharing information, because that's the only way that I feel we can move forward. And we live in a world now that we have so many platforms in which to do it in. It's a matter of finding out which one works best for you. And whatever business you're in, you need to help in terms of marketing, come see us. You need to figure out your financials, how to best reach your financials, see where you stand financially, come see us. The SBDC, the assistance we provide is across the board. Our job is to sit and work with you, formalize a strategy, provide you with advice, be your accountability partner. The one thing we don't do is we don't do for you in terms of, we'll help you strategize, we'll get that strategy down on paper, but we're not going to do the strategy for you, work it out. That's up to you and your team to make sure that it gets done. It's like we work with you in putting a business plan together. We review that business plan for you. We critique that business plan for you. Are we going to write it for you? Absolutely not. Because part of that doing part, that's where you learn. I know that's what happened to me when I decided to sit down and write a business plan. That's where I obtained so much knowledge that was able to help propel my business forward. So when you take the time to learn, and I know everyone is always in a rush and everybody always thinks it should have been done yesterday, take the time. Go visit your local SBDC. See what advice they're going to give you to help propel your business forward. And taking just a few moments to breathe, taking a few steps backwards, you'll be surprised as to how far you're going to be able to go within your business. So remember, the SBDC, we're always here. In the state of New Jersey, as a network, we've been here for 45 years. We're not going anywhere. Our state office has so many new programs coming in. Check to see what's available from their site, and that's njsbdc.com. See what programs suit you, what's their availability, and then you get to see what other programs are available throughout the states from what I call our sister centers. So if we are not having a program that you're interested in, there could be another one not too far. Because of technology, remember we're in that fourth industrial revolution, Zoom. Now you could take webinars anywhere. You don't have to physically be there thanks to technology and to what we've gone through in the past 2 years. We've learned a lot and we've learned to adapt. So as I am winding down, I do want to say thank you for anyone who joined us throughout the whole day in celebrating our SBDC Day. Today, March 15th, right? 16th. Sorry, I'm a little jet lagged, but March 16th, 2022. Our ambassadors that came on, our SBDC team from the NJSBDC at Brookdale Community College, covering Monmouth and Ocean County. This is Dr. Jackeline Mejias Fuertes saying thank you to each and every one of you for coming on today, celebrating with us, sharing Ming Chang. My hat's off to you. You guys are doing an amazing job with Shared Universe Podcast Studio, and we will be sharing another recording with one of our clients, Geo Greens, and you're going to see what an amazing story he actually has. So with that, to all of you, I hope you are having an amazing day. Don't forget, if you see us out there, come visit us. Join our, if you hear that we're having an event, come and see us. Definitely visit our website. If you need assistance with your business, right on our website, you could sign up for free counseling. There's never a charge for the counseling. As it's been said in the past, we are your tax dollars at work because we are funded in part by the SBA as well as by the state of New Jersey through the Business Action Center, and even our host institutions do provide some funding to make sure we bring these important services to everyone in the business community. For us, it's the communities both in Monmouth and Ocean County. So once again, Dr. Jackeline Mejias Fuertes, on the podcast of Talk of Success with the NJSBDC at Brookdale Community College. Thank you for each and every one of you who joined us. Have a great one.